So I've been arguing behind the scene regarding who should we blame for the unemployability index. Are we blaming the school? Like our last caller was saying that this, our previous caller said school would have capacity for 500, they would take 2,000. The last caller, Goki, was blaming the students that students are so ambitious, they want to drive the biggest car, they are not humble to learn and grow. So, Mariam was going to reply.
No, I'll go first.
Amaka wanted to reply Nima. Which one are we going to do? Amaka, oh yeah, give it to Nima.
She said everything, though. She did not talk about the pendulum swinging.
Okay, so they say I've been swinging like pendulum or this show. So I am
okay,
convincing. Yes,
Yeah,
I want to be convinced.
Okay, so yes, I want to reply Nima by saying that Nima said that she gave a staff a task to come up with a Google form, right? And it took the person 3 months. First of all, Nima, I'll give your staff her own blame. Then I'll come to you as the employer and dash you your own blame. Let me start with your staff. Because in this life, I as the employer cannot want something more than you for yourself, right? This has nothing to do with system, educational system. It has nothing to do with your lecture. It has nothing to do with anything. It has to do with the hunger to learn as an individual, as a human being. You're working at a place. It's okay not to know. It's okay to be ignorant, but it's not okay to remain ignorant, especially when you have everything you need around you to learn. Why am I saying this? You gave her a task. If she didn't know, it's okay. She would have said, Madam, please, how can I do this? How can I go about getting this? If she was scared of you as an employer, she can ask other staff within the organization. If she can't ask them, she should have friends that she can ask. A task has been given. If she doesn't know that, she has phone. She has laptop. She can go to Google. YouTube will even show you the video of how they are using the thing one-to-one. They will show you detailed. What kind of staff is that? You have no business keeping that kind of staff that for 3 months, a task that has to do with your company. She didn't do that. She had to wait for you to come back. Then you even waited 3 months that you had to go and ask for another person.
She exaggerated the 3 months, but...
Did you exaggerate the 3 months?
Yes, obviously.
Okay, because if this is, because if
I was giving her other tax, I've forgotten that.
Because so I have a problem of you like waiting for 3 months to ask a staff for something that's happening.
So you can be busy now.
No, you want to take a call. I'm not finished.
It was more than 3 months.
I'm not finished.
Let's finish.
No, let me take a call.
Take a call there. Let me continue.
Caller from Agege, welcome to the show. Good morning. Hello, caller, are you there?
Yes, I'm there.
All right, you're live. Please give us your contribution.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much. This program is very interesting. Like I said, my name is Kola Kolabi, and I'm a management consultant. You see, the topic you are bringing up today is very, very interesting. And I think in society, we have to do something very fast about it. Now, part of the first thing is that it even starts from the school. It looks like the undergraduate, it's like they are not learning much again, so to speak. Now, let me talk from experience. Honestly, very many undergraduates and even people in employment do not even know how to prepare their skills. They don't even know how to respond to application. They don't even follow simple instructions. For instance, when fresh graduates come to our office for employment this day, ordinarily what I first of all tell them is, give them a plain sheet of paper. Okay, you study biology in school, you study computer sciences, you study accounting. Tell me the courses you do in 100 level, 200 level. You see some students even saying, or graduates, writing AC101, AC102. What are the names of all the
course itself?
They don't even understand. In fact, in recent time, I played an advertisement on behalf of a client, a frontline estate management firm. I won't mention the name. And somebody even applied for the position of the chief executive. You can't believe it. The person cannot even write simple application. The way out, honestly, is that the educational system, we will have to look into such that 75% of the resource persons, I mean the lecturers, to be people from the academics, and 25% of people from the practical aspect of it. Like that, you can blend the can and the gun. a lot of undergraduates, a lot of people are not employable again. Then our value system has been thrown into the job.
Value system.
People don't even want to work. It is an amount of what they want to benefit, either officially or unofficially. You understand? So it is very, very unfortunate. And every employer, the number one thing in their mind is that can you do the job, regardless of your background. So it's very unfortunate, and I think, in fact, if you can even set an agenda on this, and let it go viral, let us discuss it nationally.
Thank you so much, Mr. Kola. It's personal as a man. He's facing this all the time.
Can I just complete on my own?
You want to complete? Okay.
Yes, I just want to complete on my own. Because for me, aside from what she said, what really aches me is the fact is that, that you even call people for interviews and they show up late. As in, that means you're not even taking your life serious. You don't have a job. They give you an opportunity to come and interview for a job. Then you also come up late. Now, I just don't get that. Because I can remember, I learned this in the hard way. My first job interview in the UK, I was 5 minutes late. I was at the venue already, but I was looking for the right door to go into. And then, because I just felt like there might be 5 or 10 of us. So anyhow, at least I'm just 5 minutes late to get to my turn. That Nigerian mentality. No, they have a time slot. And my time slot was supposed to be there. And they expect me to be there at least 30 minutes or 15 minutes before the time. And of course, the woman has gone for her tea break because I didn't show up. And people have gone, they were there drinking, and they couldn't. And I really wanted this job. And I had those qualifications. And that taught me a lesson. And within my organization, that's what we do. We don't box people together when we want to recruit or hire. We give you time slots. If you don't meet your time slot, that's your business. Because I learned the hard way that if I have an interview a day before, I'll go on Google Maps. I'll know the distance I'm used to get there, how I'm supposed to get to the place. Make sure I get there 15 or I plan my routes before I get there. During winter, I've gone for an interview winter, 30 minutes under the cold. There was no place to stay. I was cold waiting because that thing was important to me. You should, as in that's your life. You should want it more. Because if you show up late for your interview, how do you want to run my business? How are you going to show up for me?
So let me take Abiola, then I'll come to you. Abiola has called in from Ikorodu. Welcome to the show. Good morning.
Yes, good morning,
good morning.
ladies.
Good morning.
I quite appreciate all your efforts there. And I just want to make a contribution on what you are discussing. The problem lies, one, in the school, the curriculum, and the availability of good lecturers. That is for the school. And it's also, the problem also lies on the candidate himself or the student. Now, let me quickly address part of the school. There was a time, let me just give me some time to explain this narrative. There was a time, one student of certain university came to my office. He read accounting, and he just came to my office. I was the chief inspector of my bank. He said, "Sir, I want to work in your bank. What did you have?" He said he had first class. I was so happy that I would be seeing somebody who had first class to work in my bank. Because I do write accounting. I'm a chartered accountant, a fellow of ICANN, and I never made first class when I graduated. So I was eager to see this first class perform in my bank. I shortlisted him. He went to the interview. I made myself to be available on the panel so that I would be able to see the performance. Oh, lo and behold, he disappointed every one of us. 7 of us on the panel who could not answer any of us convincingly. So at the end of the day, I was the one who was ashamed for even recommending somebody. And they now told me, "Oga, you recommended this candidate that you should shortlist him. Now he has come." I said, "No, even though he has come, it's not, I'm Yoruba. He is not Yoruba. I don't want to mention where he comes from. So the part of you people now is because you don't study well in your school. So we use that to just crack the joke." Now the fundamental thing is, most of these strike, go on ASU strike, go on whatever, they are impacting in the quality time these schools should have on the students. Yeah. Now, when it came to my own questioning, and I told him to list the subjects he did, he listed that I wanted to be sure if he actually attended lectures. And he listed many of them. I said, "Oh, these students attended lectures." Now, which of these courses do you like most? He told me management accounting. Oh, you love that? Okay, give me the topics that you are taught, so that I will be convinced that he actually attended classes. He gave me the topics. But when I gave him the question, he could not answer, meaning there was no constructive or a kind of good foundation for him right from that school. We could not employ him, all of us. You said unemployable, and this is first class. I don't want to mention the name, and I don't want to mention the university. Now, coming to the student himself, most of them, maybe because of this, what do you call it, technology now, they are just up and down, carrying phone everywhere. Instead of doing our own day, we will sit down, put your legs in the bucket, read the day break.
Thank you so much, Mr. Abiola.
So this is the situation.
I get you, and you've put the blame on three categories that I know Mariam wants to dig in further.
So, you know, as I started, I told you that for me, I believe that the blame on different people. I talked about our system, our socioeconomic background, our culture as well. So in what I found interesting is that in disagreeing with Nima, you have sort of also proved, you know, the point. Nima made an example, and I want us to highlight it. So, you know, a lot of us need to understand. There are many people who live outside Lagos, Abuja, and Port Harcourt, but they live in Nigeria. And there's a cultural difference, whether we like it or not, even that we're in the same country. There are some schools that you go to, what is important is that you have those handouts, you cram those handouts, and you regurgitate the handouts, simple and short. And once you do that, you get really good marks. You're not taught anything other than that. There's really no opportunity to learn sending those mails, writing those applications. You know, as I said, I've met people that, you know, that are graduates with high, you know, scores, and they cannot string a sentence together. They cannot write an email.
How did they pass?
You know, and these are Nigerians going to Nigerian schools that we list under approved and licensed Nigerian universities. So there's a system that encourages or that supports just, you know, cramming. I always say that, you know, the school I finished from, amazing school. I'm so proud of my university. But I said that when I was studying, I studied economics. But it took me my third year and Dr. Garba, God bless him, to understand, oh, is that what we're doing? Because at first it was to learn I learned all the economic, the terms, everything. Oh. And then you have to be able to regurgitate it and put it. That's what I thought for a long time. And sometimes it would be hard to, it took him, I'm not saying the other lecturers didn't do their job, but it took that particular lecturer, Dr. Garba, to help me understand. How did he do it? He would bring in newspaper clippings, or he would refer to news that was ongoing, and now ask us to apply these economic principles. I was like, is that what this is about? You know, because of his creative style that was much more in keeping with how I thought I got it. Maybe for others, they were able to get it with the others. But for me, when I saw real life, that's what I understood. So for many of us that went to Nigerian universities, we didn't get that. It took us maybe having friends who were doing other things to learn from our friends. Oh, is this how you do this? Is this how you do this? Outside school. I had interviewed Sir Philip Asiodo on his 90th birthday, and he was saying some of the things that we don't do anymore. He said there used to be a course called critical thinking. He said we don't do that. He says the way you think, he says that's why sometimes some of the policies were going back and forth because it's not well thought out. He says the way you think is something you study so that by the time you come out, so a person who says, oh, I finished from first class, the reason that caller can make a mistake and say first class is okay is because he thinks there's critical thinking involved, there's logical reasoning and all the other things that come with that degree. But he doesn't understand that maybe what he was able to do was study those letters and words and sentences, give it back to the lecturer, and he's fine.
Let me take this call.
Okay, then we'll go back. Thank you.
Titi Layo has called in. Welcome to the show. Good morning, Titi.
My name is Titi Loye.
Titi Loye.
Yes, you better.
Welcome to the show. We're sorry we kept you waiting.
No good. I want to talk on just 4 areas. Okay. The first one, I will blame parents and even the secondary school.
Blaming parents and secondary school.
I also blame the university at the point of admitting students. So I will blame students or applicants themselves. The area of parents and secondary school. If you see this, they just this way. Go and check why. You will see A1 rank in different areas, meaning you are doing their. Parents pay their way to ensure that their awards get higher grades in secondary school, so that they can meet up with all this grading nonsense that school does now. School will tell you that 40% go ahead. Those who deserve to get admission are not getting because they only got credit. Those who do not need to get credit, they got A. And when university will admit based on all this they are grading, the deserving students are not getting admission to the higher institutions.
Exactly.
And when they get to higher institutions, see the lecturers, they are as archaic as anything. They are not a passing value. And students are ready to even follow their students to any higher institution to pay their price to get the higher grade. Now, we now blame the applicant, the student now. When I finished, when I wanted to start, to start in Lagos, they deployed me to FAN. The person that assisted me, they will place me where I will get money, which all those things is available. So I declined. I said I needed knowledge first. Money will follow knowledge thereabout. Now, the graduates are not employed because they are not serious. I cannot blame Nigeria. In Nigeria, we still see some students that are very good, they develop themselves. In my own time, there was no phone. Mentors, they were very few. Now we have phone, you can go to Google and download and learn anything you want to learn. We have many mentors that are available. They are not ready. All they needed, they just wanted money, quickly. How do you want them to excel in such a mindset?
Thank you so much, Titi Loye.